People get ready. The Impressions. A gentle genius sings a song that has everything. In my life and in this book, there have been many songs where the sheer beauty and majesty of the music have captivated me. There have been tunes where a great vocal and wonderful harmonies drew me in. On some tracks, a brilliant lyric has been an attraction. And there are the rare special songs that have everything. This is one of them. The Impressions were a black Chicago band who started out in the 50s playing gospel, doo-wop, rhythm and blues, and soul. They were first known as Jerry Butler and the Impressions after their main songwriter, bandleader, and singer. In fact, Jerry co-wrote and sang their first big U.S. hit, For Your Precious Love, in 1958. They never had any hits in Britain, which seems crazy to me, so the only way for me to hear them was on AFN. They sounded fantastic. There was a warmth and a depth to their sound, and nothing pretentious about their music. You could tell they meant it. They weren't trying to be anything that they weren't. Another member of the Impressions was Curtis Mayfield, who had first met Jerry Butler in his early teens in a church choir. Those two guys weren't unique in starting out like that, of course. So many great black artists of that era emerged as singers after being members of a gospel choir. One great example is Dionne Warwick. I've seen photos and heard a recording of a young Dionne singing in the 50s New Jersey and New York family gospel group, the Drinkard Singers, which also spawned the brilliant singer Cissy Houston, Whitney Houston's mother. They looked and sounded absolutely glorious. Jerry Butler left the Impressions at the start of the 60s, and Curtis Mayfield took over the leadership of the group. Curtis was still in his teens when he wrote and sang a superb 1961 U.S. hit called Gypsy Woman. It had a moment where Curtis changed from falsetto to chest voice to lift the song into the chorus that took my breath away when I first heard it. It still does. Curtis wrote other great hits for the Impressions in the early 60s, such as It's All Right and Keep On Pushing. I'd sometimes pick up their albums when I was on tour in the States, and suddenly I was in love with the music of the Impressions, and particularly the voice of Curtis Mayfield. Curtis just had this terrific vocal range. He sang so easily and freely. He could do a fantastic low-down husky growl, then switch right up to a keening falsetto, if the song required it. It was the first time I had heard of a male artist singing so high, so purely, it really grabbed my attention, just like that. They called Curtis the gentle giant because of the delicacy of his singing. It suited him. There was nothing raucous whatsoever about his vocal. I think after Elvis, I would rather have had the chance to sing a duet with Curtis Mayfield than anybody else in the history of music. I'm very happy with my singing voice, but there were a couple of notes in Curtis Mayfield's repertoire that I'd certainly love to be able to hit. I said as much in an interview in 1964. I told a music journalist nothing would make me happier than to record a Curtis Mayfield song with the Impressions backing me. And it was true. Their music really appealed to the Shadows and me. It is hard to play rhythm and blues as naturally and as beautifully as they did. And then, in 1965, Curtis Mayfield wrote his masterpiece for the Impressions. It was called People Get Ready, and I think it is one of the most phenomenal pieces of music ever created. The greatest compliment you can pay a song is that as soon as you hear it, you want to sing it. People Get Ready has that effect on me. The music is instinctual, and Curtis sings as if he is floating on air. He's in that place you always want to get to as a singer. I try so hard to get to that place when I play live, but normally I'm just trying to keep up with the band. People Get Ready is a very spiritual song with its roots firmly in gospel. From the start, its message is transparent and transcendent. People get ready. There's a train a-comin', Curtis cooed. You don't need no baggage. You just get on board. It's a rallying call, a message of faith, and the end of the first verse makes it even clearer. Don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord. The sincerity in Curtis's voice as he sang those words was so palpable you could almost touch it. And it is universal. As I say, it is a song clearly rooted in a black music tradition, in gospel, yet it also speaks to a white man like me. It speaks to everyone. It's a song about the triumph of getting to heaven. Curtis said as much, explaining People Get Ready. He said, the train takes you back to the old gospel way of thinking and the teachings of different religions, black religions as well as white ones, and the train is a symbol of God himself coming to bring all the other people to venture to the other side. I have no doubt that People Get Ready resonated so strongly with me because I had just begun my own spiritual journey and converted to Christianity. I had come to realize there must be more to life. We're not all here just because of some cosmic accident and a scientific Big Bang. There's something beyond us. In fact, becoming a Christian had led me to see my life and everything in it in a very different way. It's not always an easy process, but hearing People Get Ready comforted me and lifted me. Here was a song that wasn't just suggesting we would get to heaven, but stating it. We'll be on that train. Turning to God made me think very hard about what I did. Initially, I thought I should give up being a singer and spread the word instead, maybe as a religious studies teacher. I called a press conference to announce that I was retiring from music and sat and passed a religion O-level to get ready for my new calling. I'm not sure I ever really wanted to totally give up rock and roll, though, and it turned out there was no need to. I could carry on being a singer, and it would give me a platform to talk about my faith. And the very first opportunity of that kind came when Norrie Paramore phoned me up in 1967. Cliff, I think you should make a gospel album, he said initially. The suggestion threw me slightly. Really? I replied. Well, you're a Christian now, so why not? He asked. It was a simple but persuasive argument, and the more I thought about it, the more I liked it. So I made Good News in 1967, my first album of hymns and spiritual songs, and I began playing gospel tours.